Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, I'm Megan. Now you know. It's a bonus video. I have an unboxing and I'm gonna try out dip powder for the first time ever. I have never used it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna use what is included and I am going to put it on my natural nails and then I'm going to keep it on there for as long as it looks good and report back weekly during my videos. So let's get started. So here is the box. AzureBeauty sent this over to me as PR. So very big thank you to AzureBeauty. I am so excited to have this. It's my first PR and I really hope that I love this because as a person who paints natural nails, it is important to me that I don't destroy them with harsh chemicals and things that are difficult to take off. And so dip powder is supposed to be the less harsh version of acrylic, so you get the long-lasting effects without all the damage. We'll find out. Let's open this box. So as you can see, this is the Christmas kit. Very excited. It is the perfect season for this. The link will be in my description if you want to get this kit as well. And so here's the inner box, and let's get that opened up. Pardon me with this camera all in my face. I will move it down once we get this box opened. This is the first time I'm opening it, so I don't actually know what's in here. We're finding out together. Okay, so firstly, I see a couple of paper items. We have a thank you card from AzureBeauty. Thank you, AzureBeauty. After service card. That's very kind. And then what looks to be some instructions. Let me have a quick glance over these. Pause to read if you would like. All right, and then let's get into this. We do have one bottle of base, one bottle of activator, and one bottle of gel top coat. I did go ahead and bring a lamp for this. We've got this fluffy little brush for dusting. Very cute. Under here, it looks like we have a little mini file, which I will use, and then some extra brushes because I have heard sometimes your brushes can get hard from the activator. Let's look at these colors. Alright, so firstly, we've got color number 197. This is a glittery gold. That is very, very pretty. I'm going to actually be using all of these colors so that we can see what they're all like. But good chance this is going to be one of my favorites. We've got color number 34. It is a nice Christmas green. Oh, this one, the little paper didn't stick to the lid. I like that. It's very solid and consistent looking. We have color number 236. This is a red. It is also a flat shade like the green. This one seems to be exceptionally full. I almost spilled it opening it. And then lastly, color number 252. This is also a red, but it's a glittery red. Huge fan of glitter. Gonna be a big fan of this one. Now, my nails are already clean and washed. I've got a little staining from some polish I recently had on. This nail, don't worry about this nail. It's under construction. It's had a bit of a time. I am going to make an attempt to just dip these I don't believe they're going to be too long, but if they were too long, I do have a glitter recycler that I could use to sprinkle or to dip this way. But we're just going to start with following the instructions. It looks like they do want us to gently scrape our nails to take off the shine. This is not one of my favorite habits, but it will make it last longer, so just very, very delicately. I'm barely doing it, but to be fair, this file is pretty rough, and I'm guessing it kind of needs to be, so that when I file the powder at the end, it is useful. Alright, let's dust those off, and we're just going to start with one nail and go through the whole process. That way we can learn as we go. Now for the thumb, that's where I want to start. I want to start with this beautiful shade of green. So let me get this opened up and ready to dip so that we're not delaying. And then just briefly, I want to run through these instructions with you. So it says at least 2 coats. So we'll paint the base, dip it quickly, wait 30 seconds for it to dry, dust off excess, paint the base again, dip it quickly, wait 30 seconds for it to dry, dust it off again. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully I can keep from making a mess while I'm doing this. Alright, so I'm going to set this bottle to the side so hopefully I don't knock it over in my endeavors. Alright, so paint, paint, paint. I am trying not to get it all over my cuticles. It has a very interesting smell. I can now see why people say it smells like nail glue, because I get it. Now let's dip this in here. Oh look, my thumb is making it take up so much space that I'm pushing it out. These jars are full. You're definitely getting your money's worth. Look at that color. I really like that. That is so pretty. Let's give it the 30 seconds and then we'll dust. Alright, it's been 30 seconds. I have moved that jar out of the way so we can dust, getting it kind of everywhere. Now we can look at our handiwork. I seem to have missed some spots, but as a non-professional, remember, I am not a professional, I'm just doing stuff. I'd say it's a good first try. Let's do our second coat. Let's try to get some more back here and around the edges. I wonder if I should try and make it thicker with the base. And then maybe let's try and do more like a this way entry. Alright, so we've got some. I'm getting it everywhere once again. Maybe put a paper towel down. I've got this clear little mat thing here that hopefully is helping. I don't know if holding it in there for those few extra seconds helps, but I like to think it lets it absorb longer. So we've got our second coat. Let's give that 30 seconds and then we will see. Alright, it's been 30 seconds. Let's do a little dust. Oh yeah, we definitely did a better job this time. I got it all over. You know what I forgot though? I forgot to bring an orange wood stick to scrape the cuticles, but I have this. So I'm gonna see if it's too late to give a little scrape on this edge. Seems like I'm getting a little bit off and I can always clean that up a little bit better with my file. Yeah, let's try to do the right thing. That's a little bit weird feeling. Yeah, we'll do a better job at that. That side's pretty good though. Let's see if we can't. Yes, it's a little bit lumpy. That is 100% my fault though, because I am not a professional. But when I file, I think that will be helped. Now, you could do more coats if you wanted to. but I would say the coverage is actually pretty acceptable. So I'm gonna leave it at 2 coats as it is suggested. And then let's go ahead and dip another finger. Next, I wanna go in for this glittery gold, and I'm actually gonna stir this up a little bit just because I wanna make sure that the glitter is pretty consistently mixed. As you can see, it does some look like a little bit more acrylic than glitter, but I think that's good. We're gonna go in with this guy, so let's do the first layer of base. I'm very wobbly. I would recommend anchoring your finger and pretending you know what you're doing. And then let's dip her in. This one is smaller, so I don't have to dump out it quite as much to get my finger in there. That's a good dip. Let's have a look. Okay, so the glitter is mostly up towards the top. I don't hate that. That does give like a glittery gradient look, but I'm really trying to get glitter everywhere, and I don't know how to do that. Maybe if I shake this around, it seems like it pulls the glitter to the top, so we'll try that. Alright, so that's 30 seconds. Let's give it a dust. Don't forget the other side. Okay, so it looks like I did a better job dipping this time. It's more of an even coat. And now that we've got that extra off, it actually looks pretty nice with the glitter. Let's do our second coat. I'm going to set my finger down a little bit just so that I can try and have a little bit more stability to try and get this base on here evenly. And then let's go in for our dip. Alright, and pull it out. It looks the same. It looks like all the glitter's on the top, but I think that's just how it looks from the way it sits when I push it in here. So let's give that 30 seconds again. Alright, it's been 30 seconds. Time to dust. Okay. So here's what we've got. It's an interesting look. I think this one probably needs a little bit more, just because like it looks great on this half, but this half is a bit questionable. I am gonna go ahead and do one more just to try and even that out. This could be completely user error though, because again, I don't know what I'm doing. So we are going to find out if it is beginner friendly for sure. I'm going to go in at this angle so I can try and catch some of that glitter. And I think I was successful in getting some. I don't know if that method was really great for the way it put the pressure on here, but let's let that dry for 30 seconds and then we'll look one more time. Okay, that's 30 seconds. One last dusting. Alright, so yes, it does look like we've got a more even job here. It's getting a little thick. That's okay. Filing will help with that. And alright, we're going to go in with the red glittery one for the next nail. Hopefully, we will do a better job with what we've learned. I think I'm actually going to use this other jar to anchor my finger so it's not just laying in that dust. Yeah, this jar is overflowing with finger now as well. You know, it's almost as if you should pour these into a little bit bigger of a container so that there's room for your finger. And while I commend AzureBeauty for giving us enough product for our money, I almost would say they could have given us a little bit less product. And I would have probably been happy with that. That one's looking really consistent already. Let's give it 30 seconds. Alright, 30 seconds is up. Let's dust. Ooh, that's looking pretty already. definitely want to get our second coat in. It looks like I missed a little bit up here, so I'm going to try and do a better job at that. Alright, so let's make sure we get it nice and thick up here. And you know, honestly, it could have just been the way that I stuck my finger in the jar that made those have gaps. This stuff really does have a unique smell because it's not exactly like glue, but it's unlike anything else that I'm familiar with. I'm gonna move my finger back and forth a little bit to try and get that in here. And look, I've dumped it everywhere. Smooth move on my part. Yes, there we go. I should have put that over some sort of piece of paper so that I could pour that back in there, but now it's stuck to this mat. Alright, 30 seconds have gone by. Let's do a dust. Okay, so now this one is interesting. The glitter, you can see it really well around this edge here, but not so much in here. Maybe when we file it and get the top coat on it, it might bring it out a little bit more. We'll see if I can scrape some of this out of here, because once again, I forgot to do it before it dried, and I may have just damaged it here. I did. So I'm going to break that off a little bit. And I feel like to compensate for that, I really need to do one more dip to fill that in. But let me look at it. You know, I actually think it's going to be okay, because when I file it down, it's probably going to get thin around the sides anyway. And if it looks stupid, that's 100% my fault, and we will learn from it. Lastly, let's go in with the flat red, and I'm going to utilize this jar now to hold my finger. Uh-oh, got a little bit of glitter in this brush. It's all right. All right, I got a pretty consistent dip. Let's, while we're thinking about it, see if I can't go ahead and scrape the edges a little bit before it dries, as if I've got some sense. Gotta be careful with that. I'm not very good at painting in the lines. You may have noticed, but we'll fix it. Alright, 30 seconds is up. Let's do a little dust. I didn't actually expect to see much dust off since I was messing with it so much and knocked a lot of it loose, but that actually looks okay. I think one more coat, try and get it thick over here, or at least get a good dip over here. Alright, in we go. If we can do it in front of the camera, that'd be cool. And then out. We got a lot hanging on this time. I don't know if that's a good sign or not, but we'll file it down. Alright, 30 seconds. Let's do a dust. Oh yeah, that one's super, super thick, but we're gonna fix it. That's the motto of today's lesson, is we're gonna fix it. And while this is not super, super hard, let's go ahead and bust some of this extra stuff loose. Get that off of there. I almost feel like I prefer scraping it afterwards. Okay, so we've got all of our powders on now. Let me actually close this bottle before I end up spilling it. Now we need to go in with the activator to harden all of these. And it is my belief that you're supposed to use a generous coat, so I will attempt to do so. Oh, wow. That is an interesting product. It's like, it's not thick. It just like immediately absorbs into it. That is not what I was expecting. How interesting. I don't know how much I'm supposed to use, but I'm gonna put a bunch. It stinks a little bit. I don't know what it is, but it does stink a little bit. Not bad. Not so bad that you really need to worry about like air purifiers or anything. So that's good on that one. Let's give these a little bit as well. That's so wild how it just sucks it up in there. But this is to harden it so that we can file it and that it will be solid and last. I hope that I'm putting enough of it because I'm trying to make sure I put enough that it kind of looks wet. And hopefully that's not too much. This is all a guess for me, really. Ooh, look at that. The more we activate this red one, the more the color comes out. And I am thinking I am going to love it. Let's get some more down here around the tip. My nails are very curvy, so painting does not always make even strokes. A little bit more. Yes. Okay. And then thick boy down here. Let's give him some. He's gonna need quite a bit of file work, I think, but that's okay because this file feels like it's up to the job. I imagine it's a 180 or a 100 grit. Generally, I don't use a lot of those file strengths in my day-to-day life because natural nails, and they don't need quite so much abrasion. But today we are going to use it. Let's give this a moment to dry or whatever, harden, and then we'll do some filing. Okay, so it's been 60 seconds, which is the recommended time. Let's start over here with this guy who's got the least amount of problems. And I'm probably just gonna file this as quickly as I can and keep it sped up because filing makes my skin crawl. All right, so we've got the filing done. Let me tell you, be really careful around your cuticles because, man, that can get rough if you start running into them. And over here, it got a little tear-uppy, so I think I need to add a little activator here. I think maybe it didn't get down deep because it was so thick. So a little bit more, I think, will do us some good. I'm going to tell you something that I just learned this very moment. Adding activator to a freshly filed cuticle, there is some feeling. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite feelings, but I felt it nonetheless. So let's give that a moment to dry, and then it'll be time to go in with our top coat. Alright, so quickly, I just wanted to bring something up about these instructions. It says apply a coat of top to the entire nail surface, let it dry for 60 seconds and enjoy. So even though it says gel, this may not require a light. And I'm thinking it doesn't, which is not what I thought. But we're about to find out. Alright, so let's start over here with our first one that we did. Okay. It is thick. I'm not hating it. It looks really pretty already. I hope that does dry without the light, even though I already brought it in here and I already hooked it up. But it would be cool if it doesn't because that just makes this kit even easier to use. Look at that. Look at that sparkle coming out. That is so pretty. Let's do this one. I bet this one is just going to really show up. Yep, and exactly what I thought. This is fantastic. Again, if you guys are loving this, the link will be in the description. It is available on Amazon. Super quick shipping. Let's put a little bit over here as well. Pardon me about my shaky hands. I am not using the dominant hand, so it's a little bit harder. All right, so let's give that the 60 seconds and then see if it's dry. All right, it's been about 60 seconds. It is still shiny. I did get some dust in it like an idiot, but I'm gonna touch it. Okay, you know what? That is dry. I think I might want to put another layer on. I don't know if this is going to make a difference or if it's even going to dry because it's a second one, but I feel like I would like it to be just a little bit shinier. And it is. Now, I would imagine if you wanted matte, you could put a matte top coat on top of this because, again, it is acrylic, so you should be able to paint on top of it without much difficulty. I am considering putting some decorations on top of this, but then also they're really just so beautiful on their own. I don't know that I want to detract from that with decorations, so I may not, especially since I want to test the longevity of this. All right, so here's what we've got. What are we thinking? Who is your favorite? I really do love them all, but these glitters really do just tug at my heart. I love them so much. I wonder if because they're glitters, they're going to be more difficult to remove than the regular ones, like nail polish is more difficult when it's glittery. But I don't know. My cuticles, though, they have taken a bit of a beating with that filing. May have been wise to use a drill bit specialized for cuticles, but I use that rough file, and then I use the smoother side to smooth it out. It's not dry, and I put a fingerprint in it. Let me put a little bit more top coat on that and then give it the proper 60 seconds that it needs. Don't be an idiot. Follow the instructions. It's not the product's fault if you don't do it right. Okay, so final thoughts. I don't know if you can tell in here, but this glitter actually has a few purple pieces, which I can say I'm a pretty big fan of that. It's subtle, but I like purple and I think it's cute and keeps it a little bit interesting. But I really do love all these. The glitters especially, but these flats are also amazing. I would be happy to wear any of them by themselves as well. They are really great colors. I would definitely recommend this, and if I am not mistaken, I think this whole kit was about $20, which is a really great price considering for my regular nail polish, I pay anywhere from $10 to $15 per bottle. So I get 4 whole colors in here, and it's long lasting, and we will see how difficult it is to remove, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think we're going to be able to file it down and then soak it off because it's acrylic. So definitely there will be a follow-up about that. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you have used AzureBeauty's dip powder before, and if you like it, if there is anything about it that you feel like could be improved or is missing. I feel like this kit came with less liquids than some other kits, but I don't see where another liquid is needed. It had all of the necessary steps. Now, to be fair, I am going to use my own cuticle oil, but yeah, who doesn't have cuticle oil on hand if they're using these types of products anyway? So that's not a big loss. I do love this brush that it came with as well. It is so soft So one last time, let's just have a final look at these powders to remember what they looked like. I love them. Thank you again, AzureBeauty. Thank you everyone for watching my videos, for liking, commenting. Please make sure that you are subscribed so that you can get the weekly updates when I film my regular videos. I'm gonna do a quick check-in on how this is doing so that you can see, and then there will be a follow-up video at some point, if not one of the short ones that I do, about taking this off and my thoughts. I may also even post periodic updates if anything even happens to it, if it chips or cracks or anything like that, though I'm not sure that it will. So definitely make sure that you're subscribed. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you very soon. Goodbye.